Hello. Today is May 3rd, 2023. The temperature in this area of Kentucky is around 43 degrees, going up to 61. And the Weather Bureau is saying the sunset is at 8:30, and don't miss the sunset, 8:30 p.m. If you're watching the sideshow on Facebook and Instagram, don't forget to like, comment, and share. If you're watching the sideshow on YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe. The Sideshow Coffee Cup, buy from me for $17 plus shipping and handling. And pay me through Cash App, $ TR Parker 1, all caps. I wanted to make a correction, or not a correction, but I mentioned the Camp Lejeune PACT Act had been signed into law by Congress, and I provided you with a phone number. And after calling that phone number, I found out I couldn't get through. So, in regards to that, Congress did sign into law the Camp Lejeune PACT Act, and they're looking at $300 billion as a payout. And right now, what's being put forward is a cap for lawyers' fees. Republicans are suggesting starting at 12%. Democrats are saying stop at 33%. So, until we have further word, you can follow along with that at your own convenience. May 11th was supposed to have been the official day for the pandemic to be concluded, as originally proposed by President Biden, but we know that that was signed off on during the month of April. Speaking of May, this is Asian and Island Pacific Month. So Asian and Asian Pacific Islanders Month. So we can keep that in our minds as well. But speaking of the pandemic, the U.S. Surgeon General put out an advisory as next public health priority as loneliness. And it kind of struck me because the figures and statistics that he's drawing from is pre-pandemic. So before 2020. And it kind of struck me because all the things that were put in place to help stop the spread of COVID-19 at the time did kind of constrict people as far as their socializing and getting together. Even certain family members, if I remember correctly, were advised, if you did not live in the same house, even if you were related, to maintain your distance. So the mask and 6 foot of distance stifled socializing at the time. So he put forth this advisory. I'll pass it on. There's an element linked to increased heart attacks, depression, diabetes, crime, and premature death in the U.S. And it's affecting people no matter where they live or who they are. Loneliness. Right now, millions of people are telling us through their stories and statistics that their tank is running on empty when it comes to social connection. And the Surgeon General, U.S. Surgeon General, is, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, Vivek Murthy, Vivek Murthy, Vivek Murthy. So he continues. Right now, millions of people are telling us through their stories and statistics that their tank is running on empty when it comes to social connection. So bottom lines is this: it has to be a public health priority that we consider on par with tobacco, with substance use disorders, with obesity, and other issues that we know profoundly impact people's lives. The advisory cites polls from the 1970s in which 43% of Americans said that they reliably trust Americans. That dropped to roughly 30% by 2016. Between 2003 and 2020, the time Americans spent alone increased by 24 hours a month, and time with friends in person decreased by 10 hours a month. Teenagers and adults reported being online almost constantly, but across all ages had fewer friends and in-person interactions. And that to me was right on. These changes, coupled with the influx of home delivery and other changes that limit personal interactions, can leave people feeling disconnected. It's a normal part of the human experience, and loneliness in many ways is like hunger or thirst, Murphy said. It's a signal our body sends us when we're lacking something we need for survival. So I thought I would pass that along because on my side of this with the sideshow, I'm constantly receiving texts and things of this nature, and that's the main method of communication, through text. And then a few people that I have to laugh at, a few people that want to try to video chat, and it's just as simple as FaceTiming on your phone, don't want to show themselves. And I find that amazing. And the excuses are, well, the phone's not working, the phone's broke, but it's just me sitting in the corner and the rest of the phone is like a black screen. So I know, my take is you've covered it. Because if your phone is on and you called me using video chat, to me it's working. You're just embarrassed to show yourself on the phone. Because a cell phone is like, it's not even a luxury nowadays. It's almost like a necessity. People would rather have a cell phone than have a landline. So that's how that goes. But loneliness. There you have it from the U.S. Surgeon General. In Oklahoma, in the United States, woman IDs 4 of 7 Oklahoma bodies as daughter and grandchildren. It goes without saying that this is another mass murder situation. A registered sex offender found dead on a rural Oklahoma property, the latest apparent mass killing site, with his wife and her teenage children and 2 visiting teens, was quiet, but kept the family under lock and key and always had to know where they were, the wife's mother said Tuesday. This is the outcome of a search for 2 missing teens, and they were discovered at this site. Jeanette Mayo, 59, of Westville, said Jesse McFadden's controlling behavior was concerning, but the family didn't learn about his criminal history until a few months ago. He lied to my daughter, and he convinced her it was all just a huge mistake, Mayo told the Associated Press in a telephone interview Tuesday morning. He was very demure. He was very standoffish, generally very quiet. But he kept my daughter and the kids basically under lock and key. He had to know where they were at all times, which sent red flags up. Mayo said the sheriff's office notified her late Monday that the other 4 victims were her daughter, Holly Guest, 35, and her grandchildren, Riley Elizabeth Allen, 17, Michael James Mayo, 15, and Tiffany Dory Guest, 13. Mayo said Tiffany Guest was close friends with Webster and Brewer, who were spending the weekend with the family. The grim discovery in Oklahoma keeps the U.S. on a torrid pace for mass killings in 2023 and could push the number of people slain in mass killings past 100 for the year. The 4 people found shot to death in an RV in a small Mojave Desert community over the weekend. Drugs. Sometimes I wonder if a lot of this violence is not fueled by drugs. But that being said, record-breaking darknet fentanyl bust nabs 288 suspects and $53.4 million worldwide. Nearly 300 people were arrested in a record-breaking international drug enforcement operation that targeted fentanyl and opioid traffickers on the dark web, the Department of Justice announced Tuesday. Law enforcement made 288 arrests and seized 117 illegal firearms, 850 kilograms of drugs, including 54 kilograms of fentanyl or fentanyl-laced narcotics, and $54.4 million in cash and digital currencies as part of the Joint Criminal Opioid and Darknet Enforcement's Operation Spectre. The number of arrests and seizures exceeded that of any previous J-Code operation, according to DOJ officials. The Justice Department said Operation Spectre was conducted across the United States, Europe, and South America in an unprecedented international enforcement operation. In the United States, officials made 153 arrests, seized 104 illegal guns, and seized more than 200,000 pills, including those containing fentanyl. So, if you enjoy TV, most of us do have it on, whether we're watching it or not. Hollywood writers are on strike here on 5 things you need to know. I'm not going to give all 5 things, but the strike information is as follows. On Tuesday, 11,500 members of the Writers Guild of America went on strike. Since talks with Hollywood studios began March 20th, the two sides have failed to reach an accord on a new 3-year film TV contract to replace one that expired Monday. A long strike could have a ripple effect on not only film and television production, but also the Southern California economy. The impact is also likely to be felt in Georgia, New York, New Mexico, and other production hubs nationwide. Without writers, scripted television shows will struggle to continue filming, and live late-night shows will stop immediately. I have reported on a shooting that has taken place close to downtown, and I gave the name of the woman as 43-year-old Tamonte Harris. This is some more information on that case. Lexington family protests outside police headquarters to draw attention to son's case. A day after his murder charge was reduced to manslaughter, 37-year-old Corey Jackson's family gathered outside Lexington police headquarters. Jackson was arrested in a shooting that killed 2 people on Chestnut Street on April 20th, 43-year-old Tamonte Harris and 32-year-old Lakeisha Hill. He was arrested 1 block away from the scene of the shooting and later identified as the shooter by a witness. During Monday's preliminary hearing, Detective Jeremy Atkins says investigators believe Harris shot and killed Hill. Speaking of the two women, investigators believe Harris shot and killed Hill before dying. Atkins said police have another person of interest in the case as well. Atkins is going to testify that Jackson did not have a weapon on him when he was arrested, despite being charged as a convicted felon with a firearm. Atkins says there was surveillance video from a corner store showing Jackson walking on a street nearby at the time of the shooting. Police tested Jackson for gunshot residue, but because of backlogs, the results could take months. That's it. Hashtag